Welcome to the LA Confidential Podcast. I'm Christopher Elliott here with my boys, Iden Elliott and Aren Elliott. How you guys doing?
Feeling great. Feeling good.
Feeling superb.
That's because we are in Tokyo, Japan.
Oh, Tokyo.
That's right. This is our first time here. I've never been, and you guys have never been. What do you think?
Tokyo's interesting. I mean, we just got here. We went to the Conrad Hotel 2 days ago after our cruise, and Tokyo was not what I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
Well, I was just expecting another big city, Honestly, I'd gotten sort of used to Thailand cities and then all the other cities. I just felt like, it's just probably another city, Just another city. But I was not prepared for what happened, actually, for what I ended up seeing. Tokyo is really not a city like any other that I've seen. And you could say that for any city, but no, this just does not. None of the coastal cities in Japan are like this. None of the big cities in any other country that I've seen are like this. I mean, I think that maybe it reminds me a bit of Paris, but yeah.
What do you think, Iden, sets it apart from all the other places we've been to?
I think the development of it.
Yeah.
It's very heavily developed. Even though it's huge, you can get anywhere by train. Actually, there was an image comparison size between the Paris map and the map of Houston, Texas. Mm-hmm. And Paris is like this little tiny city in the middle of Houston, Texas. And Houston, Texas is very wide and spread out and sprawling. Even though they're both of similar size in terms of population, right? Mm-hmm. Here, it is just as compressed as Paris, but then it's the same size as Houston.
So it's just huge, yeah.
It's just huge and still very compressed in. There's a large population, and similar to Paris, you can get anywhere by train, unlike Houston.
Okay, our question of the week is about getting lost, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. But before we get there, I would like Aren to set up the reason why we're asking the question. Aren, what happened to us this afternoon?
Well, we wanted to go and get ourselves some tasty ramen.
Tasty ramen,
Yeah,
yes.
tasty ramen. So we wanted to go get ourselves some tasty ramen, and so I go pull up my Google, and it's raining because there's a tropical storm here.
There's a big typhoon coming through.
Well, it's not really a typhoon.
Okay, it was an almost typhoon, right?
There's a tropical storm, so it causes about a day of rain, so just today it's going to rain. And in any case, we go out. We have no idea what this city's like, where we're going, what exists. Like, we're just like, we're going to go hopefully get our tasty ramen.
Yeah, well, I should say that when you said that you gave me the location of this place, I thought it was like around the corner, at ground level. It ended up being in the Tokyo subway, right?
Yes. So there are a lot of things that we learned today. Firstly, if it's raining outside, you don't have to walk outside. No joke, if you're next to a metro station, you can just walk underground to similar metro stations, and you never have to actually even board the metro. You can just walk. And we managed to walk directly from our hotel, the Palace Hotel where we're staying now, all the way to Tokyo Metro Station. We didn't know that on our way there, but on the way back we did know. So that's one interesting thing. And the second thing is that this city is on multiple levels, in a very serious way. So if you're looking at the map, you're going to get directions that look like they're, just everything is on the same level, but that's not necessarily the case. So you really have to use the feature on Google Maps where you're looking at different levels, because otherwise you end up being, one level above or below your desired destination.
And we got lost so badly. And the problem was that this restaurant that we were looking for, just a little hole in the wall, was within the turnstiles. So we needed a subway ticket in order to get there. Yeah. We wandered around. It should have been a 15-minute walk. It took us, I'm not kidding you, at least an hour to finally get to this place.
Yeah.
And we got lost probably 3 or 4 times along the way, and we were sniping at each other going, yeah, it's your fault, it's your fault. No, we don't really do that. But Anyway, it was frustrating. And so that brings us to this week's question, which is, have you ever gotten lost while you're on vacation? Tell us your story about not finding your way or getting lost while you were traveling somewhere. And I'd love to know also how you found your way back from wherever you were, because presumably you're not still lost. If you're still lost, I don't know how you're getting this podcast, but anyway. So that's our question of the week. Please give us your answer in the comments and we'll read them.
If you're still lost, where are you?
Where are you? Well, sometimes I feel lost, but that's neither here nor there. Other impressions of Tokyo we have seen. We were at the end of our Lindblad National Geographic cruise, so we had a day in Tokyo. We saw some temples. These temples definitely are a step up from the other temples we've seen. They're bigger, they have more tourists in them, and they are more, I guess, ornate. What did you guys think of the things that we saw?
Well, I think that compared to the coastal temples, they're much bigger and they have a lot more natural, like, nature around it, surprisingly.
Like parks, yeah.
Natural nature.
Natural nature.
Yeah,
Really?
like like trees and vegetation and stuff like that.
How are you able to confirm that it's natural nature?
When you say
That's a good
natural
question.
nature, I think of nudists walking around and saying
Yeah.
it's natural nature.
Yeah. See, when you say it, we can include a podcast. Yeah. Whenever I think of natural nature, I think of nature, but
With
get
nudists.
this. No. When I think of natural nature, I think of nature, but get this.
What?
It's natural.
Okay, that's right.
But the thing is like, for me, I only know if it's natural if there's like a sign on it that says, this is natural. Was there any signs there, or how are you able to confirm that it was in fact natural nature?
It's interesting that we should be having this discussion in Japan, because we were in our last episode we were talking about some of the convenience stores, and Iden, I know you're a big fan of the convenience stores.
Well, I'm a big fan of the convenience
Everything
stores.
there has preservatives.
So I should say
additives,
that. I should say this.
flavorings.
So when I was doing research on Japan beforehand, I found out that Japan approves of the most additives out of any country.
Not surprised.
So when you try that lightning blue drink, that little ramune soda, that tastes like something not found in nature. So we're going way far away from this natural nature
It's
stuff.
unnatural nature.
It's unnatural, not nature.
Yeah.
So and it tastes delectable, really good.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
Super
no,
sweet
it's not
and
delectable
oh my
in
god,
any way. It's
it
just
is
like
so good.
it tastes like battery acid.
No,
But anyway.
no, you're wrong. It's good. It's really good. Like if our, I know that many of our listeners may have not been to Japan before, but if you've ever been to Detroit, that's a weird segue. If you've ever been to Detroit and you've tried Faygo, or if you listen to Insane Clown Posse, you probably know what Faygo is. You know, the blueberry Faygo or the cotton candy Faygo? That's what it tastes like, except it has like 10 times more preservatives.
Okay.
Really good. And you're going to die by 30.
Let's go back to the previous week. We were on a cruise. When we left off, we were in South Korea, and then we came back to Japan. So what happened? What happened
That's
to
a
us?
great question. We just went back to coastal Japan and we started visiting some cities, eventually ending up at Kanazawa. And it was really interesting because some of these cities, they were, far out. They were just port towns. But I think that the highlight of last week had to have been this place called like something plant. It was a Super Plant 5. It was this enormous Costco-esque grocery store.
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
that.
Okay. We should say that while other people might like going to temples and museums, our favorite attractions are grocery stores and markets.
Yummy.
And we found a place called Plant 5. And it was a massive Japanese grocery store with everything. Think of it as a Costco and a Walmart kind of merged together. And that's what Plant 5 was.
Yep. And while we were there, we got onigiri, we got sweet treats. They had lots of sweet treats there.
Here's something about Japan that I don't understand. Maybe you guys can enlighten me. But in Japan, everyone is quiet and polite.
Yes.
Most people are.
So I heard somebody talking loudly on the phone today, and they were Japanese. So,
okay, so
not all of them.
You're walking through the Tokyo subway, and it's like a museum. It's very quiet.
Shizuka.
But if you go to a Japanese grocery store, it is a cacophony. Go to a Don Quixote.
Specifically Don Quixote.
No, others too. And you will hear in every aisle there's someone
mostly Don Quixote.
screaming at you and flashing lights and this cacophony. And help me align these two seemingly disparate facts.
I feel like it's okay if the sound comes from a human. No. Get out of here. You're bad. We're going to kick you out of society. Goodbye. But get this: if it's filmed and then put on a screen and then blasted through giant speakers, A-okay.
Yeah. That's now speaking as someone who yesterday, while you were in our hotel room working on something, you were editing a video and you needed to talk to someone. I had to do a video call, so I went out in the hallway and sat down. And within about 5 minutes, someone from the hotel came by, someone who looked like a manager, and said, "Excuse me, sir, could we offer you the business center to do your call?" And I thought, okay, this is a very passive-aggressive way of saying, get off the floor.
I didn't know Japanese people were capable of being passive-aggressive.
Yeah, I didn't either. And so they're sticklers for manners, I would say. They want everything to be done just so. They don't want anyone sitting in the hallway taking a call.
I think you could have taken a call in a hotel hallway in any country, and that would have been the exact same thing that they would have done.
No.
I don't think you're ever because you can hear people walking down the hallway in a hotel.
If we were in Thailand, it would have been totally fine. They would have just not even noticed.
Well, maybe in Thailand, but they're specific. If you're in Manhattan in a fancy hotel and you took a call in the hallway, they said, "Sir, excuse
me, sir, calm down."
Maybe I don't know in Manhattan, probably in Manhattan, but if you were in Pasadena Valley,
Pasadena, California.
Yeah, Pasadena, California.
Yeah.
Isn't that where the Valley Girls are from? That she would have gone.
San Fernando Valley.
There it is. San Fernando Valley. She would have come up to you and said, "Excuse me, sir, we have a business center downstairs. I've gotten 4 calls. You need to leave right now, buddy. Stairs, right there."
Okay, maybe you're right. Anyway, okay, moving right along. Iden, any thoughts about coastal Japan Part 2?
Okay. Tokyo is great. I love Tokyo.
Tokyo is not coastal.
Hey, let me finish. I know you're not. You don't know where I'm going with this.
Oh, okay, all right.
Okay.
Fine.
I'm taking them on a journey. That's what the podcast is about.
Okay,
podcast.
fine.
Okay. With my words.
Okay, take us on a journey.
Okay. Tokyo is great, guys. I love Tokyo. I love the big city, and we had a little bit of a taste of that when we went to Kobe, when we flew in to Japan first.
In Osaka.
Yeah, Osaka too. And Nagasaki as well. But coastal Japan is just as great. It's so calm, so clean. The weather is perfect. At least when we were there, it was perfect. Mm-hmm. And everyone is so nice.
Oh, they are.
They are. Yeah. And it's to the point where, whether or not I should go to the big city or the calm coastal Japan with nearly nothing there other than markets, but clean streets, but, no huge attractions, but nice people, it really comes down to a very small margin where I'm 50-50, whether you should go to the small towns in the countryside or on the coast, because we also went to countryside towns that we went inland for in the bus. Really, I am split. I don't know whether you should go to the small towns or the big city because they're both so great.
Both. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the cruise itself. The ship that we were on was the National Geographic. Actually, it's the Lindblad rebranded or co-branded National Geographic Resolution. Mm. And this was a small ship that is meant to be in polar waters. It is the highest rated ship for going through polar ice. there's on the website. There's a photo where it literally has cut through the ice and let people off. They're walking on the ice in it looks like Antarctica.
I want to do that. That looks interesting.
Yeah, I know. I want to do that too.
Eventually.
Yeah, I know. That's
Just hope no killer whales go under the ice. You know how they catch the seals?
right. Or
They
the
break
thing,
the ice
like
from
the
below.
thing from that movie. It grabs you and pulls you under, and watch out for aliens. Anyway, so this is, to the best of my knowledge, an alien-proof vessel.
Or, you could see a laser draw a circle and then it's pushed through.
Yeah.
And then this perfect circle goes above the ice and onto the solid ground. And who crawls through it?
The Thing.
007. The Thing! I said 007. Who else? Do you think the Thing is going to draw a perfect circle in the
Maybe.
ice, pop out? Only 007 would do that.
This would be the John Carpenter version
Yes.
of the thing,
I-
with all the squiggly kind of like octopus-like. The ship itself was really, I think the ship was really the star of this cruise. It was a beautiful ship, and it had every creature comfort imaginable. It even had its own spa.
Creature comfort?
That's what they call it.
Yeah.
Yes. But
No,
I
I
would
know,
say,
I know that, but you just said like,
The creature coming under the ice. It's gonna kill you. Take off your head.
No, I said the thing.
the Thing.
The Thing is
Thing comforts.
Thing comforts. We were walking through the lower decks, and we saw the kayaks, which unfortunately we didn't get to use, but we used the Zodiacs. Anyway, I just thought that this was one of the most thoughtfully designed vessels that I had ever been on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our last podcast, we asked the question, have you ever taken an unexpected detour on your travels? Because we took an unexpected detour to South Korea. And boy, did you want to talk about that. Turselman. I don't know what Turselman's real name is, but
it's
that's
Tursel.
Turselman.
Truseman.
I was amused to see your comment about allowing at least half a day. Yeah, well, we amuse ourselves too. I think if I traveled halfway around the world to Korea and Japan, I would have to allow at least half a month. Both countries intrigue me, and yet I fear at 77, in just okay health, I will never get there.
Oh, don't say that.
No. You can do it. We met a lot of people.
We met people
Who are
in worse conditions than you.
Yeah,
Trust
we met
me,
people
buddy.
who are in their 80s on this cruise, and yeah, if you go, you should stay for longer. We're going to be here for a little while. It's definitely doable.
Yeah.
So, and the nice thing about people who are a little bit older is that in Japan they show a lot of respect for them.
Yeah.
Gail says, "Please, more Korea. I want to visit the spring. I would like some recommendations on areas. Too bad James May never did a series on Korea." Okay, so Korea, I'll tell you what, we only were there for really a day, but we're going to go back. And when we
Yes.
do, we will give you more Korea,
Yeah.
like more cowbell. Okay.
사랑맹다스timida.
But Gail followed up with another comment. She said yes to side trips. She says, last year I was on one from Cuba to Cancun, from Cancun. It was a very short, scary flight on Air Cubana.
I would not
she
trust
says
that
you'll
airline.
never bitch about United again.
Oh, yeah.
They don't stamp your visa, so coming and going from Cancun was breezy. Cuba is an interesting country. Really nice, warm people living under a harsh regime. She says she was at the Hotel Nacional, and that was a real eye-opener. Murals of famous movie stars, musicians, writers, all scattered through the hotel. Only one floor of the six, I think, had anything remotely resembling the internet. So, I don't know, guys. Iden, you won't be able to edit your videos if we go to
Ooh.
Cuba.
Maybe if we go there, they'll take a picture with us because we're celebrities.
Hey, but you know something? We've got the Caribbean is on our itinerary, and
Yes.
you are going to be joining us for that segment.
Maybe by then they'll be, wanting to take a picture of me. Actually, okay, this is funny. Okay, so for those who know, I edit for a YouTuber. He has like lots of subscribers, blah blah blah. Okay, so sort of famous on the internet, right? He goes on a trip with his dad, a business trip. Okay, his dad on business. Okay, his dad does things internationally a lot. Okay, so he's going to Macau. He gets to the hotel, and they hand him the key card, and on the key card is a picture of him on one side, and on the other side is "Congratulations on hitting 2 million subscribers, Jamie and Curly." Walks into his room, and his signature thing that he does in his videos is he wears yellow tape there's a yellow tape cake in his room,
Wow.
and it looks like yellow tape.
I'm betting you that his dad said something to the hotel.
I don't know. I don't know.
That would, yeah.
But I don't think you can
I've
set
done-
up something like that.
I've done that. I've done that before. Remember when we were in Qatar and we had your birthday party?
I don't think his dad even knew anything about it. He like when he made the video that he sent out, he was like,
That's pretty
"This is
cool.
unexpected completely."
That's well,
I know.
yeah, right. Huh?
If he goes to the Hotel Nacional,
I'm so sure.
I won't, they'll give him some Cubanos, you know.
KP says, we're talking about detours. KP says, I've been on many, many times. The biggest was getting a phone call 2 days before a scheduled month-long trip that was to culminate in a 6-day windjammer cruise, telling me my dad was in ICU, and this was already our first stop. He says, KP says, with either a stroke or a heart attack, but pneumonia for sure. Immediately left work, spent the next day packing and getting funds into traveler's checks. It was a long time ago. Arriving at the hospital, he looked like death warmed over. But the end of 3 days, he was moved to a regular room and was his usual stubborn self, non-cooperative. I had canceled all the hotel reservations except Boston. I knew I could not get that one back. So I gave him our itinerary and license plate number, and we left on our trip. KP says he died 10 years later. It was just pneumonia. Sorry about your loss, KP. Susan says, my husband and I often take unexpected turns while traveling. We book the basics, flights and places to stay, and we wing it from there. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yep.
We've been doing some winging lately, too.
Yep.
We once booked a stay in a town on the train line halfway between Berlin and Amsterdam. People kept asking why we were going there, and we did not know why. They were so interested. Surprised us, it was a health town with multiple hospitals and recuperation hospitals. People must have been concerned that one of us was ill. It was a lovely town with a big public spa bathhouse, and we stayed one night. Remember our question of the week, which is, have you ever gotten yourself good and lost on a trip? Tell us about it. Tokyo Subway, bonus points if you can mention the Tokyo Subway. My name is Christopher Elliott, and on behalf of Iden and Aren Elliott, we are so happy you were able to listen to our podcast.
Thank you.
We will see you next week.
Thanks. See you later.
Bye-bye.